So now I'm done with the Ruby video, I can finally tackle the Arcana Heart series, which I have more freedom on because there's only one character from Arcana Heart in the game, and that's Heart Aino herself, the main character. Which means I have the entire roster from Arcana Heart Love Max 6 stars in order to add to this game, but unfortunately I can only add 5. I mean, hell, this is a top 10 video, this would have been a way longer video than it had any right to be, and I don't want that. So I decided to choose specifically 5 characters from Arcana Heart to put into this game. Now, some of my picks may be controversial. If anyone gives a damn about Arcana Heart, that's the sad thing about it. No one gives a shit about Arcana Heart, so I doubt this video isn't even going to get any traction, but it doesn't hurt to talk about the series because I like playing Arcana Heart. So, I have pretty much a lot of freedom. You know, unlike Ruby, where I had to essentially pick what was left, unlike Under Night and Persona 4 Arena, which I essentially had to just stick with what was left, you know, because there was only so little characters that even mattered. With Arcana Heart, yeah, I got plenty of options. So, you know, this video won't be so restrictive. So thank God for that. So without further ado, let's move on to the top 5 Arcana Heart characters I would have wanted to see in BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. And if you guys are new to the channel or new to me, I apologize. I do stutter a lot. That's just how I talk. I apologize. I can't really help that. It happens all the time. So if you guys are bothered by it, I suggest you just leave the video. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. I apologize for wasting your time. Without further ado, let's actually get on with the video. I apologize again for this whole middle section deal after the intro here. Now, Saki Suzura is one of my favorite characters from the game in general. I could barely play her with a damn, but at the same time, I just really wanted Saki to be here. Just because A, she's one of the main characters, B, she's Heart's quote-unquote rival, and C, it's just, I'm amazed she isn't here yet. You know, like, I understand Heart getting it first, because obviously she's the main character, but seeing Saki here would have been nice. You know, just having her here would have been nice. Now, interaction's sake, I definitely see one with Heart, but, like, she's not really, like, Saki's a weird character. She's more like this, sophisticated character. She's like this girl that, comes off as being perfect, but, she's not really perfect. It's like that whole thing where people say, oh, you're perfect, you're yada yada, but that the character themselves don't feel like that. They have their own flaws and issues and stuff like that. So, with the way she asks, she doesn't, she's more like really protective over people she cares about and stuff like that. I can see her, because she does have friends and stuff like that. It's just like, I can see her trying to have an interaction with at least Kami, right? At least that, they can talk about their bonds and friendship and stuff like that. I guess Saki is not a character who would do that such a thing, but I could definitely feel her, talking to Kami that way. And she also has the lightning abilities, so because she has the Arcana Bondry, the Arcana of Thunder, so there's that. Honestly, there's not much I can say about Saki in this case, but in regards of interactions, I can't really say much. The only reason I can even say about why I wanted her in here is for that reason. Now, the thing about Arcana Heart is that there are characters who don't have themes. Hello, this is Kaizou from the future, and yes, characters do have themes, at least from Arcana Heart 1. So, yeah, that's my bad. So if I mentioned characters not having themes, yeah, that's a lie. I forgot about Arcana Heart 1 and all their themes, because Heart had a theme called Heartful, and Saki had a theme called That Heart, That Power, etc., etc. Konoha had a theme called Konoha's Training Grounds, stuff like that. So I apologize. That was me being stupid. I didn't pay attention to Arcana Heart 1 because it had themes. I could have not made this list without talking about Kamui Tokenomiya. She is one of the most badass characters in the entire series, and she's one of the characters that she's been around the longest. She's literally this individual who's known as the Millennium Guardian, and she is basically put to sleep in some alternate dimension, and then only awakens until the realms of both the spiritual world and the physical world are put into danger, and then she has to be awakened to save them. That's sick as shit. And this is still Arcana Heart I'm talking about. And plus, she also has the Arcana of Time Anupada, And I could definitely see her having interactions with characters, at least, you know, who are more strict and, you know, strict, cold, etc. So she's not all the way like that. She's a character who's like super aloof, but at the same time, she's more like, you know, she's socially awkward because like she's always being put to sleep at every point, and when she gets up, it's always like years ahead. But she is also like stern, and she's like has some respect to her. So she's kind of like this awkward dork on the side of being like this complete badass. And she's also obsessed with, you know, cute shit. So one, I could definitely see her having an interaction with Hakuin. That's already, I feel like that's automatic. Like, you know, already. Because I feel like that would be a cool interaction. Like it's just funny to me seeing them interact with each other. Because I feel like, I mean, if you want to go that far, Kamui is essentially just like female Hakumen, but in a high school setting. I don't know how I don't even know how the hell that's even like, it makes any sense in my case, but damn it, it sounds cool. I could also see her having interaction with some other characters, and like, I don't know, like in the back of my head, I could see her having interaction with Lene. They do have some time-based bullshit. Well, Lene in the case because, you know, she's constantly reincarnating herself, but like, she can also have an interaction with Yuzu. Never thought about that. There's also one with Ruby where she's obsessed with her sword, because her sword is pretty cool. And I mean, those are the ones that just come off the top of my head. Like, I feel like her having interaction with characters that are more like spiritually aware of, like, you know, this crazy shit that could happen. Yeah, for example, like maybe she could have an interaction with Nine. Yeah, Nine does know the ins and outs of the BlazBlue world and stuff like that, so she would probably know, or at least kind of feel what Kamui's deal with, like something about she should be there, or maybe she could talk to Elizabeth. Elizabeth could acknowledge that Kamui is not really a person that should exist. You know, like a person who definitely isn't human, at least, like her. You know, something simple like that. I feel like that would be cool to acknowledge, at least. And if I put Kamui here, I had to put her partner Konoha here. Now, Konoha is a weird individual. I will get into like why she's so weird to me as I keep going. But one, I like her design. She's literally just this ninja dog girl. So cute. Literally, she has little ears and shit, man. It's adorable as hell. Anyway, she's like this ninja dog girl who's not very smart. You know, she's not a character who can, like, you know, keep, you know, herself down. She's really goofy, but she's, you know, actually adorable and shit like that, because of course she is, so she a little dog ears. I mean, come on, man. Anyway, there's like one specific reason why I wanted Konoha in this game, but like seeing her interactions with characters, I can see her having more goofy interaction with some characters. I can see her having one with Teddy, of all things. Like, I feel like those two can get along with each other. Something in the back of my head tell me Konoha and Teddy definitely could get along with each other as characters. I can also see her getting along with characters like Makoto. They're both animal people. I don't want to say like they're racist, because Konoha is like all I call is a dog ninja, and obviously Makoto's a demi-human beastkin. So yeah, animal people. I feel like she can have one with Jubei as well. Ninja characters. I mean, we don't have enough ninja characters to be going, but she would have definitely a good one with Blake. You know, again, like the more characters I pick to have interact with Blake, the more I realize that I'm just picking them based on like their different personalities. Because Blake is like super serious and shit like that. Konoha is not. She can try to act serious, but she really can't do it all that well. And so I can definitely see her interacting with Blake at least. They're both quote unquote ninjas. Blake's a ninja. We might as well just call her that. Call it like we see it. So just. I can also see her having one with Mika. They're kids, you know. Her and Mika can have interaction because they're dumb kids. Definitely can understand that one. Because, like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of ones that would be funny, and those are the only ones that come to my head that could be, like, legit, actually funny. Anything serious, I got nothing. You know, I'm trying to think, because, like, Konoha doesn't, it's been a while since I played Arcana Heart, so trying to come up with anything that involves with her was, you know, really well. She also had one with Yosuke. Yosuke's a quote-unquote ninja, so yeah, there you go. You know, her and Yosuke could be good. Yosuke could question why the hell she has dog ears, but Konoha kind of like, well, dog ears and a tail. And then Konoha, like, tries to explain, because she can hide her dog ears and tail, and she gets embarrassed about it, but, you know, she really can't do it all that well. But Anyway, there's another reason why I wanted Konoha in this game, and that's for Japanese voice actors. Like, if I can find any decent footage with her self being voice acted, you guys gotta hear it. There's a tone about her voice that both weirds me out and fascinates me. I have never heard anyone speak like this in Japanese before. Like it's so weird.
カムイ様がそちらに行くのであれば、この葉もついていきまするが、みその女学園から離れたくありませぬな。店長ゲツッと、カムイ様、今おそばに参りまするぞ。茜殿、そのようなことは木の葉に申されず、春日殿に直接申せばよろしいかと。
So now we reached Vice, one of the poster girls for Arcana Heart 3 Love Max. As for interaction's sake, she's more like kind of like a socially awkward character because she doesn't know much of the outside world. She's super honest. She doesn't like people who lie to her. She's more like, like straight up honest with you and shit like that. She's more antisocial and stoic at the same time, and that's how her character really works. So I could definitely see her being more serious with some of the other characters. Hell, I could even see her being near other characters that kind of, are a little more eccentric, that don't, are more cheerful, Like, I could definitely see that. First, I could actually see her having an interaction with actually Weiss, because, Weiss, that writes itself. If, this is like a situation where the Naoto thing, if they never had an interaction, people would ask so many questions. So if Vice ever got in this game, you get Vice, you get Weiss. There you go. This shit writes itself. Again, I can see her having an interaction with at least ARCSYS. I don't know. I feel like ARCSYS could probably feel like the way Vice acts. She acts kind of not really a robot, but kind of robotic. So I can see ARCSYS trying to think of her as a robot, but then getting confused or something like that. I don't know. These are ideas I'm just randomly throwing to the wall right now because I got nothing. Yeah, some of the characters I just want in just for their own good reasons. Now, I just want Vice in because I like playing as her, and she looks cool. And I feel like of all people would have to get in. I feel like because Vice is essentially on the posters and shit and front face on all of it, anything Arcana Heart 3 related at least. I feel like she, of all people, will come in next. If Crosstag had a 3.0 announcement where they actually brought in another Arcana Heart character, I could either see Saki coming first or Vice coming first. And I feel like even though Saki is one of the mainstay characters, I feel like Vice would get in over her. Vice ain't a bad character, and I would definitely like to see her in Crosstag Bell. Plus her powers are cool. She looks cool. She's shooting freaking blades at you, and she has this giant Arcana named Godfrey. But yeah, it's a badass, dude. It's freaking badass. Godfrey's badass as shit, though. It's so badass. It doesn't have a name tied to it. It's like the Arcana of Tyr. What is Tyr? The god Tyr from Norse mythology? That Tyr? Yeah, it's so badass that it's not even an element, It's so badass it's not even a goddamn element. It's oh yeah, it's just a spirit of the Norse god. So finally, we have Charlocrot. Charlocrot? Let me go look this up real quick.
Scharlachrot. 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 Scharlachrot.
Scharlachrot. Oh god, that is a name. Oh my god, that is not. My German is duty. Okay, Scharlachrot. Oh god, that doesn't sound right even coming out of my mouth. Anyway, yeah, Scharlachrot would be a character that I honestly would want to see in Crosstag Battle. I feel like, okay, first of all, she's one of the main poster villains, per se. Main poster villains for Arcana Heart 3 Love Max. And I don't know, there's something about it, just I feel like she could be in there. She's not exactly a villain, and you know, like she is a villain. Don't get me wrong about that. She's like one of the main bad guys at least, but she's not like the final villain. That's Ragnarok, and Ragnarok's a piece of shit, and it's not even a character anyway. But even so, she does redeem herself. So I wonder if they're going to use Charlotte for post-redemption to before redemption, and they could also either make her like, you know, kind of like ambiguous in that situation. Also, her Arcana is pretty cool, like freaking like just like Vice. Vice has the Arcana Godfrey, and is essentially just the Arcana of Tyr. Like the thing is, like, I think it's because they were created by the Dexter Institute, is that like the Arcanas are like true Arcanas in a way, or like true Arcana. It's complicated. Like, it's been a while since I played the Arcana Heart story, so I apologize if I don't even remember like anything about anything. But Charlotte, she has her own goddamn Arcana as well, because everyone does. Her Arcana is Balder, the Spear of Fenrir, the wolf of Norse mythology. So not only you have Tyr, a god, you got Balder, Fenrir. Like I know like Norse mythology references are all over Arcana Heart 3. You got Ragnarok, you know, etc., etc. There's also more, but I can't remember off the top of my head at this moment. But yeah, you also got Balder, Fenrir, Tyr, Godfrey, like it's stuff like that. Just that's what makes me really happy. Plus, there's also their moves, but I'm not going to get into that right now because that's going to take me forever to do. So, yeah, the point is, I feel like Charlotte would be better here, and I wonder how they're going to work her, because if she's definitely going to have the interaction with, like with the villains at least. I want to have her treated as a villain, because Arcana Heart doesn't really have one. Like, Arcana Heart has villains, but they don't have like front-facing villains. You know, I feel like of all the people so far right now, as of 6 stars, and I'm not counting Darkheart because they don't count her either, that the only villain that we really have right now is Charlotte, and she does redeem herself. So you don't keep villains all that long, because the only reason she's acted the way she was because she was brainwashed. So I don't know if you're going to keep her brainwashed self or her, you know, or not so brainwashed. So she's still aggressive, you know, even without the brainwash. But even so, I would prefer they use more of her more villainous traits. But I feel like that, again, that would be more of a disservice to her character. I feel like that wouldn't be fair on Charlotte's part. So she could have interaction with the villains, and she could probably see how twisted they are, and she could probably wonder, like, man, I could have been like that, god damn, or something like that. I don't know. But I would want to see her here, you know, like, again, Arcana Heart doesn't really have a front-facing villain, and the villain that it does have, like, villains that the game does have, you don't get to see much of, they don't get to do much of, and, like, you're like, okay, that's, you know, whatever. So there's not really a general, true Arcana Heart villain that you can, like, automatically latch yourself onto. There's nothing like that in this game, which is funny. There are villains, again, as I said before, but nothing you can outright say, oh, that's a villain. Like, if you look at Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, you're like, oh shit, there's a Dachi. Or if you look at, you know, Under Night and Birth, it's like, oh, Hilda, villain. Or, you know, you look at BlazBlue, it's like, oh, you got Tear, Susanoo. You know, various other villains there. Like, it's Arcana Heart ain't like that. But yeah, that's Charlotte's part in the the little roster I have for Cross Tag Battle, because damn it, seeing her gameplay with all the chains and shit is going to be interesting. I definitely figure out how the hell they're going to figure that out, but it would be interesting at least to see. And that makes the end of the Arcana Heart video, and the next one will be Senran and Kagura. Honestly, this Arcana Heart video was longer than it had any right to be, and I just wanted to ramble on and on again about a series I rarely get to talk about. So, without further ado, I'll see you all next time. Hope you have a great day. I hope you are all doing all right. Watch out for the Senran Kagura video, which may or may not be soon as of this recording. So, I'm going to take a little break for a little bit. But yeah, these daily videos are murdering me. But I will get to the Senran Kagura video eventually. So, without further ado, peace out, everyone. Hope you have a great day. See you all next time.